What happens when a country's supreme leader is killed by an enemy airstrike and 9 days later his own son takes power? Does the country strike back, go to war, or quietly back down? Right now, that question is hanging over one of the most dangerous countries in the Middle East. Just recently, after Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed, the country moved fast to secure the transition of power, and the new figure at the center of that power is his son, Mojtaba Khamenei. A lot of media outlets are focusing on one word: dynasty. But the real question is something else. With his father killed by an enemy strike, will this new leader push Iran toward war or toward negotiation? So who exactly is Mojtaba Khamenei? For more than 20 years, he has been one of the most mysterious figures in Iranian politics. Born in 1969, he is the second son of Ali Khamenei. On paper, he is just a religious scholar, spending years studying in the clerical city of Qom, but inside Iran's political circles, his role has always been far bigger than that. Many analysts believe he has long been involved in his father's political decision-making, especially when it comes to Iran's most powerful institution, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Behind the scenes, he's believed to have played a key role linking the military establishment with Iran's religious leadership. In other words, he wasn't suddenly pushed into power. He's been operating at the center of it for years. So why him? Under Iran's political system, the supreme leader is technically chosen by the assembly of experts, and in theory, the candidate should be a senior religious authority. But politics is rarely just about theory. In this transition, Iran's ruling elite seem focused on three things. First, stability. Iran is under enormous external pressure. Any real power vacuum could quickly trigger internal factional fights. Second, military backing. The Revolutionary Guard controls vast resources and influence. No leader in Iran can rule for long without their support. And Mojtaba is widely believed to have strong ties with them. Third, continuity. In moments of crisis, regimes usually turn to the most familiar figure. From that perspective, Mojtaba may have been the safest successor available. But the real problem starts now, because the situation he's facing may be even more dangerous than the one his father once faced. For one simple reason: his father died in an enemy airstrike. For Mojtaba, this isn't just a geopolitical conflict, it's also personal. Ali Khamenei was killed in a joint U.S.-Israeli strike, and that creates two immediate pressures. Domestically, he has to appear strong. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to rally the country behind him. Externally, Israel has already signaled that it may continue targeting Iran's leadership, which leaves very little room for de-escalation. In other words, the Middle East may now be facing not just geopolitical rivalry, but a conflict driven by revenge. So how is Washington reacting? U.S. President Donald Trump responded quickly after the new leader emerged. He called the succession unacceptable and warned that if the new leadership fails to gain American recognition, it won't last. In Washington's view, Mojtaba's rise signals that Iran's hardliners are now firmly in control. Some policy analysts believe the window for diplomacy with Iran is closing fast. Israel's response has been even more direct. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear whoever replaces Khamenei could also become a target. Israeli officials have even said their long arm will continue pursuing Iran's leadership, which means this confrontation is unlikely to end anytime soon. So does this mean the Middle East is heading toward a larger conflict? History suggests something important. When new leaders first come to power, they rarely change national strategy overnight. More often, they continue the course set by their predecessors. And in Iran's case, any escalation could have global consequences, because roughly 20% of the world's oil supply moves through the Strait of Hormuz. If that route is disrupted, global energy markets could feel the shock immediately. Back in 1979, the Iranian Revolution overthrew the Shah-esque monarchy. More than 4 decades later, that revolutionary state is now facing a new transfer of power. But this time, the biggest question is about institutions. It's something far more dangerous. A new leader whose father was killed by an enemy. Will he choose revenge or restraint? Because the answer to that question may shape the future of the Middle East for decades to come. This is World Really Works. I'm Daniel Wright. See you in the next time.